Good evening, everyone, and thank you for joining me, Jerome Thompson and Michael Gibbs, in talking about this Build a Vision process. Most of you have opted in. We've got a great excitement that is being built. And after you opt in, we've talked about building a team and inviting everyone in your district to come together to help to build the vision. What we have found in all of the pilot districts that have participated in the Build a Vision process is when they invite everyone in their district to participate, they have Lions who come who have never attended a meeting before, district meeting before. They have officers who come who really want to be engaged in the process. There's a lot of excitement created during the Build a Vision process, and also there's a lot of buy-in. And so I can tell you that in the 3 areas that I have assisted with the Build a Vision, that always there's that Lion that says, I come because you said you needed my opinion to move us forward, and they have some great ideas. In all of them, I've had people who volunteered to be zone chairman because they got so excited about the vision was built that they want to be part of the leadership team that moves that vision forward. And in 2 of the 3 districts, I had people who said, can I get in line to be the vice district governor? Because they were so excited about what was going on and the new and exciting ideas that was emerging, and the fact that it was district and club driven rather than Lions Clubs International driven. And so as you build your team for this vision, I would encourage everyone to send out and invite everyone in the district who has an email address. What you'll find is only about 30 to 40 of them will actually show up for the Build a Vision meeting, but there are 30 or 40 Lions who are fully engaged in the process of wanting to see our association do more in their area. This opportunity to opt in, build a team, build a vision, build a plan, and build success is for only one purpose, and that is so that we can expand our service by engaging more volunteers and providing more leadership opportunities. Now, as you look at my screen here, we're going to move to the PowerPoint presentation just shortly. I want you to note that on each of these screens are talking points. So if you're facilitating your Build a Vision meeting, you don't have to worry about being uncomfortable or not knowing what that particular slide is used for, because each of them has detailed instructions on what the outcome for this slide should be. The Build a Vision process, I will tell you, will take approximately 4 hours when handled correctly. And we're going to talk about some of the timing as we go through, and some of the things to prepare, because some of the slides do not have a district number in it. You need to go in and put that district number. Some of the slides will need to be personalized for your district. And as you do that during your preparation, and as you read through the notes, you're going to find that you get so excited about what's going on, because we're beginning to build teams and pull ideas together and build a better vision for a better tomorrow. Any questions so far about the speaking notes or anything that we would need to do at the beginning? And if not, we're going to step through each of the slides. We're going to talk about its importance in the process and what the outcome should be that enhances the quality of your district, makes your leadership more effective, and makes your team come together in a great way. And so let me hit the slideshow, and from the beginning. And this is the screen that your participants will see as you begin. The agenda that day is build a vision to take and begin to find a consensus on district goals. That's a shift from district governor goals to district goals, because district governors, as they set goals, then have to build a team to accomplish those goals. And by doing it this way, we have a district who's setting goals, you have a team already made, and everyone has participated in building the goals so that they buy in and they're ready to work with you from the very beginning. And then we're going to talk about the next steps. What do we do after we built this vision? And we'll work through that. The district discovery objectives, the whole purpose of the North American Membership Initiative, it has one focus, and that is to grow membership within your district. Because when we grow membership, we have more hands to provide service, we have a greater pool of leadership, and we begin to really do what we're set out to do, and that is to serve in new and exciting ways. The first thing that we're going to talk about is rejuvenating districts with new clubs. And as we build goals, we're going to look at that area. But also equally important is revitalizing clubs with new members, because as new members come into our clubs, there's new excitement, there's new ideas, and there's just such a great way to improve the quality of our clubs and that membership experience is by bringing new members in. But also then we can't forget those members that have been with us for a number of years, and we need to remotivate them with new fellowship opportunities and new exciting service opportunities. If we can get our current members excited, we can bring in some new members with new ideas, and we can expand our footprint of service into new communities. We're going to find that our districts begin to serve more and leaders begin to bubble to the top of our organization, because we have taken and focused on the membership experience through these three areas. Now, we're going to explain that to the attendees at the Build a Vision meeting so that they know that this is our objective. Everything that we're going to do during the day is focused toward our goal of membership growth in these three areas. Initially, we're going to talk about the vision statement and the mission statement of Lions Clubs International. What we have found as we move forward is that a lot of Lions have seen these briefly but not really looked at them. And when this screen comes up, it's early in the day, and it's an opportunity for us to begin to get people to relax and feel good, to create a safe place where that everyone's ideas is valued and appreciated. And there's a few things that we're not ever going to do during this meeting. We're not going to say we've tried that and it didn't work. We're not going to say we've never done it that way before. And by looking at the vision and asking a statement like, to be the global leaders in the community in humanitarian service, what does that mean to you? What words jump out at you out of the mission statement? And just get people to begin to talk, then that is setting the stage for us to move forward in a most positive way. As we continue to facilitate the meeting, then this next screen of expectations is so important, because as I go out to speak at district conventions, when I was a director and now as a past director, I always ask, what are your expectations? Because my goal is to meet and exceed your expectations. But a lot of times district governors have not asked that question, what are your expectations? And so we are not prepared or equipped to exceed those expectations. So by answering this question, what do Lions and club officers expect from their district governor? Then we're going to get a list of things that are going to help our district governor team to meet and exceed those expectations. Now, your room should be set in tables, either rectangular or square, with 5 to 6 people at a time sitting around that table. When you get to this portion, it's time to ask each table to take 3 minutes and make a short list of what you expect of your district governor. What's the most important thing that he or she can do that would really impress you? And give them time to talk, and then every table report out. And whoever is your taker of notes should have a butcher paper there where that you write these things down. Expectation district governor. And here tonight, if you just had to identify 1 or 2 things that you expect from your district governor, what would they be? Most of the time, someone says that they should be a communicator. Sometimes people say that they should plan a district project. We've had several who said, I'd like my district governor just to come and help with a service project and not think that the spotlight should always be on them. But whatever that the crowd tells you, then write those things down and then tape those to the wall over there under expectations, because when we finish that, we're going to move to zone chairman. What do we expect of our zone chair? And this is a great healthy discussion, because quite often someone in the crowd will say, well, what is a zone chair? And it gives us an opportunity to educate what a zone chair is, and then to talk about what we expect of our zone chair. Once again, once those expectations are set, then we can communicate to the zone chair, this is what your clubs is looking for you to assist them with, or this is what they're expecting of you as you serve in this capacity. As we continue, then, the last question is, what do we expect of our Lions clubs? And this is a real interesting opportunity as well, because those expectations usually center around service, attending zone and district meetings, but very seldom do we have anyone that says that we expect Lions clubs to grow, to be bringing new people to the table and helping us to expand the number of hands that we have available for service. And so it's an opportunity, as we facilitate these meetings, for us also to interject some of our thoughts and expectations for Lions clubs from a district governor or zone chair's perspective. Once these expectations are set, we find that everyone is beginning engaged in the communication process. They're talking at the tables, they're interacting in the report out sessions, and we then are taking and writing the answers down, because every answer is important and we're putting them on the wall. If one of the answers about the district governor is we expect that they take a shower before they come to the club meeting, we write it down, because there is no silly idea, there's no silly comment, everything is valued, and we write it down and we put it over there on the wall. The district governor team eventually is going to take the raw data and build the plan, and so the district governor team is in a listening mode during this build a vision session, and letting the Lions, the grassroots Lions who've given of their time to work with us and to help us as we move forward. That covers expectations, and when we finish expectations, then we're ready to move in to a little bit of setting the stage and talk about, if you always do what you have always done, you'll always get what you've always gotten. That helps us to understand that maybe we're not exactly happy with everything that we've been doing in the past. I don't know of any district governor that is completely happy with their membership numbers, completely happy with their service, or completely happy with their leadership components. And so as we're talking through this with all of the participants that day, we let them know that there's still some opportunities out there that we really need to seize upon. And can we do better? Get their buy-in early on that yes, we can do better, and we're here today to define what better looks like and what changes are needed to help us to be the best we can. And we're going to begin to listen, because out of the audience, there's going to be that exchange with us that says we could do better at, and whatever it is, we're taking note of those things, because those are the areas where that we can get buy-in and where we can do better. And then we're going to talk about the path to district improvement, how that we're going to leverage our strengths, we're going to manage our weaknesses, we're going to take advantage of our opportunities, and we're going to minimize the impact of our threats. And this audience today, the Lions that have gathered today, are going to help us to identify our strengths, our weaknesses, what opportunities are out there that we can seize, and what threats are out there that's beyond our control, but we need to be aware of so that we can avoid them. And as we've set the stage, then everyone is beginning to engage and understand what we're doing. And it's time for us to talk about our proud past. What have we accomplished in the last year, the last 3 years, the last 5 years, the last 10 years at your club that you're excited about? And let's begin to let them tell us what they're excited about, because everyone likes to talk about their proud past. I like to tell you what my club in Moulton, Alabama has accomplished. I like to share with you some of the statistics of the service projects and some of the membership events that we've had and things of that nature. And you'll find that those who show up at your meeting will also be very engaged when you're given an opportunity to tell you about what they've accomplished. Everybody likes to brag. And then ask them, what have we accomplished in our district that you're excited about? And they'll tell you those things too. It's important. This first stage is set to just get people communicating, feeling comfortable, and letting them know that there is that safe space, that no one is going to be judgmental of their ideas or their accomplishments. And then let's begin to focus on the future. As we move to the future, we're going to ask this question: about 5 years from now, if a former member were to call you and inquire about your club, what would you like to be able to tell them has changed since they left? This is the most important question of the day as far as getting people to talking and thinking. Give them 2 or 3 minutes to think, maybe even 2 or 3 minutes to talk at their table, and then begin to share that vision. Things has come out of this session here, this few minutes, so that one district I was in said, I'd like to tell them that we had a Cyber Leo Club that served all the homeschoolers in the area. And the whole crowd went, wow, we've never thought about that. Someone else said, I'd like to say that we have public service announcements that feature our local lions, rather than featuring lions from other countries that we may not be able to relate to as well here in our community. And so people says, wow, can we do that? And we're writing these things down. And yes, anything is possible, because Lions Clubs International has PR grants, they have membership grants, they have leadership grants, they have all kinds of resources available to us. And so no idea is too big or too out in left field. Every idea is valuable, and we're writing them down. Someone says, I'd like for us to be able to say that we've tested the vision of every student in our school system when we bought everyone glasses that needs glasses. And someone else says, I'd like to say that every club in our district has a half-day diabetes program. And the list went on, and as they began to talk, this slide took about 10 or 15 minutes for us to capture all of those ideas. Are we going to be able to do them all the first year? No. But what we are going to be able to do as a district governor team is prioritize those ideas and figure out which ones was most feasible for our district and build them into our plan as we move into the build a plan session. Usually, and you can gauge your audience, if we have a question where that there's table discussion, 3 to 5 minutes of table discussion, and then usually a minute to a minute and a half for each table to report out and to put it on the flip chart to be recorded and taped to the wall so we can see the progress we're making. We've started with expectations. We've got district governors, zones, clubs on the wall. We've then went to proud past, and we've listed those things there on the wall, and now we have the vision for the future, and it's on the wall. Everyone's engaged, and this becomes a good time just to sort of take a break, let everybody process, go to the restroom or whatever. You're probably about an hour and 15 minutes into the day, maybe an hour and a half into the day, depending on how much discussion that you've had. From that, then we're going to have this quote that's in there, just an opportunity for folks to look at it while they're taking their break, and we're coming back and we're going to start talking about our strengths. What do we do well? What exists or is currently being done well? Every table take about 5 minutes and discuss this, and then we're all going to report out. And they're going to begin to tell us things like, we serve well. I really liked that leadership training that we had last fall. That was something that was good and strong. We really like the way that our district governor emails a weekly newsletter or a newsletter every 2 weeks. I really like the way the zone chairman visits with our club and keeps us up to date. all those strengths, as they report out, we're putting on the flip chart and we're adding to the raw data, because those strengths are things that we're going to build upon. Anything that is enhancing the membership satisfaction, that folks feel we're doing well, we need to continue to do well. And then we're going to move to weaknesses, and we're going to do the same the system as we did before. 3 to 5 minutes at the tables, 1.5 to 2 minutes for each table to report out, record it, put it up on the wall. And our weaknesses is an opportunity for growth. And we're going to learn from our weaknesses. Some of the things that we think that we're doing well as leaders, our members don't think we're doing well. And so we can always drill down. If somebody says, I wish that you'd communicate better, how would you like for us to communicate better? What can we do better in the area of communication? What form of communication do we need to use? Or someone says, I wish we had more training. Do you want that to be in the form of the Learn Center with Lions Clubs International? Or would y'all prefer that we do something on GoToMeeting? Or would you like it to be in person? And as they tell us these things, we're not being judgmental. We're just asking questions, trying to make sure that we know what their expectations are and that we as leaders can meet those expectations, because satisfied members take and pay their dues and continue to serve with us. People who are not happy with their membership experience walk with their feet, they quit paying their dues, they quit serving, and they drop out of our association. So let's take our weaknesses and let's seize this as an opportunity to improve the quality of the membership experience from a district governor team level. Then we're going to talk about opportunities. What opportunities are out there that we really can seize upon? And you're going to hear things like, this company is moving to town, and I think that we should find some way to engage their employees in the Lions Club and what we're doing. Someone else says, you know, UNICEF is starting a club in Atlanta. Do you think we could have one of those clubs here? Or a variety of ideas and opportunities. They're going to talk about, there's an opportunity to bring Leos into our clubs, but we don't know exactly how to do it. And whatever the opportunities are, we're going to list them there, because those are things that we're going to build into our plan too. Not all of them, but we're going to pick out the number 1 or number 2 opportunity, and we're going to seize it with all of our might. And when we have exploited it and increased membership, increased service, increased leadership through that opportunity, then we're going to move to number 3 and number 4 on our list over the next year, 2 years, 3 years, as we begin to grow and improve the quality of our association in our districts and in our clubs. And finally, we're going to get to threats. There's some things we have no control over. We have no control over the virus that is going around now. We have no control over a free falling stock market. We have no control over a company in our district that begins to lay off people. We have no control over the fact that maybe the laws have been changed and we can't have a fundraiser that we used to have. But if we identify those threats early, then we can begin to manage those threats. And so we're going to let our members tell us what they perceive some of the threats in our district to be. At this point in time, you're probably about another hour into the session. So you're about 2 hours to 2 hours and 15 minutes into the session, as you have set expectations, as you have gone through the proud past and the bright future, and you have looked at the strengths, weaknesses, opportunities, and threats, probably 2.5 hours into the session. Everyone is enjoying themselves. Everyone is talking. We're going to take another quick break, and we're going to leave this Jimmy Dean quote up on the screen while we do that. The quotes is a great opportunity for us to take those stretch breaks, those bathroom breaks, and if by chance you started at 10 o'clock and plan to end by 2:30 or 3, then it may be a good time for also to have a lunch break right in here. Then as we continue, we're going to get into district goals. And we're going to talk for just a second about our focus areas, new clubs, new members, member loyalty, and supporting all 3 of them with training. We're going to talk about SMART goals being accountable and also realistic, and we're going to talk about accountability. And then we're going to get into the serious meat of the day as we look at focus area one, which is rejuvenating districts with new clubs. And we're going to begin to talk about why are new clubs valuable, where can we start new clubs, what special interest clubs do you think would be most successful, and what training and resources are needed for us to start new clubs. This focus area one, all 4 questions tossed to your table discussion groups and have them discuss all 4 of them. It may take a little bit more than 5 minutes. This one may be a 7 or 8 minute discussion, but that's okay. And tell them we want you to look at all 4 questions, and then we're going to come back to you and get those responses. And now when they report out, I would suggest that you take and ask the first question of all the tables, why are new clubs valuable? And let them list those answers. Where can we start new clubs? And there's going to be areas in there that you as a district governor team have not thought about, that one of your members says, one of my co-employees works over here and they was asking me about starting a club in their town. Or my first cousin, who's very involved with the Lions Club, my Lions Club, would like to start a club in his community because he moved 5, 10, 15 miles away. And then you're also going to have an opportunity to talk about special interest clubs or specialty clubs, libraries, sewing clubs, garden clubs, clubs that are made up of the families of diabetic children or families of children who have pediatric cancer. But the most important thing here that you can do is ask what training is necessary for you to feel comfortable helping us to start new clubs. And that's when you're going to get a blank stare from a lot of folks because they do not have any idea what it takes to start a club. And so this is an important opportunity for us to listen and ask ourselves what is necessary. And you might simply ask, do we need to have a chartering new clubs 101 class to get everybody sort of up to speed and feeling comfortable? Well, yeah. Well, what do you find is most threatening or fearful about starting a new club? Who could walk into a business and talk with a business owner about what we do? And you're going to find out that a lot of our Lions are willing to be engaged. They just don't know what to do. And then after you've talked about that, have your 5-year averages out there. Let folks know that our district has started 1 club in the last 5 years, or we've started 2 clubs in the last 5 years. How many clubs do you think that we can start between now and June 30th of 2021? Now, this is going to be a consensus because someone is going to be so excited at this point in time, they're going to say, we can start 4, when 4 is a little unrealistic for most districts. And someone's going to say, I don't think we can start even 1. And so somewhere between 0 and 4 is a number everybody can live with and nobody's happy with. And whoever's facilitating the meeting needs to say, we can do better than 0. 4 may be a little high. What do you think about 2 or 3? And let the crowd debate that. Everyone there debate it. And then ultimately, we are probably going to set a goal of 1 with a stretch goal of 2. We're going to underpromise and overperform. And then, as you know, your district governor-elects know from going to St. Charles, there's a fast start program, and we need to be prepared. Put that 1 on the books in July or August so that we can be recognized at the forum in Louisville. And so that has all set our goals, and it's given us a lot of information that the district governor team can work with as we build the plan, which is a series of action plans, an idea plan, an individual district enhancement engagement plan, action plan, idea plan, individual district enhancement action plan. It's an idea plan, and we're going to have an idea plan for focus area 1 that will say who, what, where, when we're going to start our first club. And when we finish that, we're going to have action plan number 2, where we're going to start our second club. And if you get real excited, no one will hold you back if you want to do clubs 3, 4, and 5. but clubs 1 and 2, I think are doable. But let's start with 1. And when we get that under our belt and we feel comfortable, if we have time, we'll start 2. And if not, we'll start working on number 1 for the 2021-22 year. And then we're going to move to focus area 2, revitalizing clubs with new members. Why should we invite members? What's the best way to invite members? How does your club host a membership growth event, and how often? And what training or assistance is needed in this area? Let the clubs talk, let the tables talk about that. Let the people at the table then report out. And after that, begin to talk about, historically, we have inducted 100 members, 125 members, whatever your 5-year average is. And ask yourself and ask those that's in attendance, what do you think that we can do in the next 12 months? We've historically brought in 125 members. Do you think that we can increase that to 137? A 10% increase. Do you think we can increase it to 130? A 5% increase. And let them help the district governor team set the goal in that area, because if they've bought into it, then as you communicate with them every month, you can say, the group that was there said that we could do this, and we're on target to do this, or we're slightly behind, or you're doing a great job, we're ahead of target, and keep everyone informed of what's going on. From this, you'll also find what training is needed to get people comfortable in just asking people to join our association, and whether they want to do that one-on-one, if they think that they should do that with social media, if they think that they should do that by hosting a membership growth event. And the membership growth event toolbox is available on lionsclubsinternational.org with all of the 6-week planning guide from beginning to end, everything that needs to be done, including letters to be sent out and videos to be shown and an agenda for the evening. If you've not looked at it, it's a great opportunity to look at it. Focus area 2 then will conclude with everything that about revitalizing clubs with new members. And then we move to remotivating members with new fellowship and exciting service. And how do you know a Lion is engaged? Why is a new member orientation important? How do hands-on service projects retain members? And how can we re-engage members who have stopped participating in club activities? We're going to the tables for discussion, and then we're reporting out, and we're still recording everything on the flip charts, and we're still taping them to the walls, because this is a great opportunity. Everyone's comfortable, ideas are flowing, and then we're going to say that we have dropped so many members on the average in the last 5 years. Can we reduce that number if we focus on hands-on service projects, if we focus on bringing new and exciting service projects and fellowship opportunities to the clubs, and let the group there help the district governor-elect set the goal on drops. We're going to reduce it from 150 down to 135, or whatever that number is. If we're headed in a positive direction, more members being added, less members being dropped, and new clubs coming on board, we're going to find that membership is going to take care of itself. And when membership takes care of itself, service is going to be there because we have more hands to help us, and our leadership is going to increase, and people are going to get excited because everybody likes to be on a winning team, and no one wants to lead a team that is not headed in the right direction. And so that's the first 3 areas. And the 4th area then is supporting district and club leaders. What programs and seminars should be offered? What's the best training format? If we hosted a district-wide institute, who should attend, and what other type of support should be provided to our leaders? These are important questions, and once again, we're start at the table and we're going to report those out. What we'll find is that people will tell us what that they need in order to be successful if we'll just listen. And then our GLT needs to be prepared to provide them the food. In my district in 34A, out of this come the idea that we needed a district enhanced leadership institute or learning institute. We call it DELI. We found that our Lions are hungry for knowledge, and if we'll provide that knowledge, they'll show up at the DELI, they'll enjoy the meal of information, and really continue to in their journey toward leadership. We also found from this discussion that people said, I'd like to go to the advanced leadership or the emerging leadership, but I can't take off 3 days and pay the travel expense. And so our DELI we're doing on 3 Saturdays, one Saturday in February, one in March, one in April. So no one has to take off work. They travel within their district. They get the same materials they'd get if they had taken off for 3 days and went to an emerging or advanced leadership institute. Those kind of ideas will come out of your meeting if you'll just listen and allow folks to begin to express themselves. And then the last goal is training oriented, and then our district will provide blank by June of 2021 to support our leaders. At this point in time, you're probably right at the 3.5 hour mark of discussion. And then you've got another short break before we wind up, because it's important that we not let folks fall asleep and that they stretch occasionally. We're going to tell you that all hands are on deck. It's going to take everyone for us to move forward. Every club, every zone, every district, every ID, every past ID, every past president, every past district governor, because we're serious about being the best district in the whole multiple district and the best district in all the United States. We're going to talk about our next steps, that your district governor team is going to review all the raw data that we've got here today. They're going to write that idea plan, that individual district enhancement action plan. They're going to share that with the group there that has given of their time to build this vision. We're going to share the idea plan with them first and let them have some feedback. And then we're going to share it with our Council of Governors and our Global Action Team, not to for them to veto it or tell us that we have to do anything, because this is a club and district centered model, but we're going to share it with them so that they then also can commit to help us to reach our goals. And then we're going to build that team to implement our plan. Really, your team to implement that plan is those Lions who showed up to help us to build the vision. And in the next portion, as we talk about building the plan, and as we'll also talk about what that team structure may look like. Generally speaking, it may include one group of people that works on new clubs, one group of Lions who work on bringing members into existing clubs, one group of Lions who focus on rejuvenating clubs or remotivating our Lions with new and exciting service projects, and one group of Lions that says, I want to be the one who provides the training and support to make sure the other 3 groups are in fact successful in reaching the goals that we've collectively set. Questions, comments, concerns about the build a vision and how that we need to proceed from here? Did I put everyone to sleep?
No, I was pretty excited to hear it all laid out.
Awesome. Anyone else? If not, you're going to finish your facilitating your Build a Vision meeting with questions, comments, and concerns, and you're going to finish probably in that 3.5 hour to 3 hour and 45 minutes. But before I end the recording, actually, let me go ahead and end the recording, and we'll stay on and talk about other things. The Build a Plan recording will be coming out soon, followed by the Build Success recording. Thank you for being here this evening.